Today I wanted to go over how it's possible to combine a few of NINZA's indicators to create your own kind of trading system, totally personalized to what markets you trade, what time frames you trade. Basically, I'm going to be using one support and resistance indicator, I'm going to be using one trend indicator, and I'm going to be using one oscillator. So if you went to NINZA's website, you could go to their trend indicator section, pick one of those. You could go to their support and resistance section and pick one of those indicators, and go to their oscillator section and pick one of those indicators, and then combine them to make your own trading system. Today I've picked the support and resistance radar indicator, the half trend pro indicator, which is a trend indicator, and the CCI reversal pro indicator. Then I'm also going to be showing how the bar status, which is a free indicator from NINZA, works on range and Renko charts. It's different than a time-based chart. I'm going to show you how that might be helpful. And then as an added bonus, I'm going to be going over the end of bar ordering indicator. I really like this indicator for range charts, and it would work really well on Renko charts as well. I've left everything basically the same as it is out of the box. The only thing I changed on the CCI reversal, I changed this threshold, which is these shaded areas on the CCI, the blue and the pink. I believe it comes with 150 and minus 150. I've taken it down to 50 and negative 50, so we get some more signals. When you put that on your chart, you just want to see what works best for the market you trade and the time frame that you're trading. So here we have our little system set up with the three main indicators: support and resistance, which is these blue lines from the support and resistance radar, and our trend, which is shading this background green. It's also this green line, and these stop loss lines here. And it's also giving us a signal, the half trend pro, the arrow down or an arrow up. And then we have our oscillator, which is the CCI, which I'll be looking for divergences on. And then it's also printing these markers. It's got a green triangle for long, and it'll print a red triangle for a short reversal opportunity. So I've got September 2nd loaded on Market Replay, non-farm payroll Friday. I really like using the range charts during times of high volatility, like non-farm payroll days or other big news event days. Also just generally in the fall time when trading gets more volatile quite often. And using this end of bar ordering tool, it helps us get into trades a lot easier when markets are moving quick. We can get in on the next up candle or sell on the next down candle. So this is pre-market. We're just about up to 9:30, the New York market open. As you can see in pre-market already, we had some divergence here in the CCI indicator. Price is higher here than it was over here, but the CCI is lower, so we have some divergence. And then we're also right at one of these blue support and resistance radar lines. So when we have a break of our half trend stop line right here, this little dotted line, you can see we get the pink background and the half trend indicator short signal. We have a minor area of resistance right here at this little blue line. So if you wanted to be extra cautious, you could wait until it broke this line right here, got in at 353, and taken it short down to this next blue line. It's 40 points right there. And then we have a CCI reversal signal. It's breaking the stop loss line on the half trend pro, and we get half trend signal as well. That would be a great entry. at 337. This minor area of support and resistance gave us a little bit of hold up right there, but ultimately it came all the way back up to this much heavier support and resistance line up here. There's 60 points right there. That's just pre-market. So let's go ahead and start the market replay. So something I'm noticing right off the bat is we have some divergence in the CCI. Price has moved higher than the previous highs, yet the CCI is moving lower. So I'm definitely more interested in a short going into the market open. So if it did break below this blue line here, I would be looking to get in short, riding it down to this next blue line. These green dots and red dots are NINZA's bar status indicator, and this is how the bar status indicator shows up on a range chart or a Rinko chart. So you can manually put a limit order, right under there, and that'll get you into a trade on the next candle. Or we have this easier option of using the end of bar ordering indicator to just click to sell the next down candle. I'm going to cancel that right now. So the market's open now. I still like this short below this last support and resistance radar line, taking it down to this next support and resistance radar line. So we got in there. I'm going to move my stop above. Move my stop above this high. Take profit. Gonna have right above this support and resistance radar line. I just want to make sure that we get filled, so I put it a little bit above. So things are looking good. We had a half trend pro signal print. The background's pink. We're getting these pink painted bars. Hopefully we'll get filled for our 20-point target there. All right, we got filled right there. So the market is still heading down. Our half trend pro indicator is keeping us looking for shorts here. Pink candles, pink background. What I see below is this major support and resistance radar line. I would definitely be expecting a reaction off this line. You can see we have this deep dark color on the profile over here. It's one of the bigger lines. And if I'm looking back at 8:30, here we have a positive reaction to the news. The non-farm payroll sent the markets up. So that was the initial reaction from the news. So I would definitely be looking for this area as a potential bounce. So I would go ahead and make more of an aggressive trade. And I'm going to place a buy order right by this support and resistance line. So if it does hit, I'm expecting at least a little bit of a bounce. I'm going to put my stop right below this last low, which pretty much is already there. For a target, I mean, we're already up almost 10 points there. Okay, we just got a bullish reversal alert for the CCI reversal indicator. I've got that set up to show me alerts. You can see it's printing this bullish marker right there. Okay, well, it already took us out of the trade. Hit our take profit. I didn't have a chance to move it. I would potentially be targeting this next line of support and resistance. However, we still are in a downtrend on the half trend pro. So I'm not sure if it would actually get up this high, but if it did, and we are still in a downtrend on the half trend pro, I might be looking at taking a short from this next support and resistance radar line. These support and resistance radar lines are really great tools for scalpers. As you can see, we got in this on this great kind of counter trend trade, and then if you enjoy more trading with the trend, I say there would be an option for a pullback trade up here at this next line. It's a pretty major line too. The more major of a support and resistance line, the more this profile extends outwards here. You can also see it in the numbers printed. Like that major line is a 233 and this is a 208. So both major lines right there. I would expect at least some hesitation. Like here we have some hesitation around that line. Lots of hesitation around the line up here or back here. I'm just gonna, when we're right in the middle, I'm just gonna kind of wait and see what the market wants to do. So we're coming up to this line. If I didn't want to be trading aggressively, I could wait. Okay, it just touched that line. I could enter into a short trade. You know, if we get a down closed candle, you know, maybe that would signify that we're going to continue in the downtrend, maybe back down to this major level. Ideally, I'd like it to be below this half trend line, this pink line. So if this candle closes below, it's going to close below this half trend line. I'm going to target this support and resistance line here. I'm going to stop above this high. But we're still in a downtrend on the half trend pro. We got a solid pink candle that closed below the half trend line, and we're targeting this next area on the support and resistance radar. And that worked out very nicely. So now I'm thinking if this line breaks, you know, what's next? I'm always kind of looking ahead, more like a chess game to see what moves might play out in the future. We have a thicker line of support and resistance down here. It could be headed down this far. I would probably wait until we have this low down here. I would probably wait until it broke out below this low, and really to show some extra confirmation, I'd wait until we got a close below this little bit of support right here. So maybe around 2280 I would get in and target 2260 right above this support and resistance line. So the market did not head further south. I'm going to take off this order. We're now in an uptrend. You know, we got a half trend signal right at 340. We're already up 10 points. We could have got in there and targeted this next line here, almost 20 points up there. Seeing a little bit of divergence in the CCI, and we're right around this pretty big area of support and resistance. Keeps peeking its head above though, so just gonna kind of wait and see what happens here. So it turns out that would have been a great trade. We had a little bit of divergence right there on the CCI. The CCI was lower, even though the price was going higher, and we were at this pretty major support and resistance radar line. Came down about 30 points. Now we're right at the half trend stop line here, and it's kind of deciding if it wants to stay in an uptrend or break down and start a bearish trend. So it's coming back up to this line again. We definitely have divergence now. I would be looking to take a short if it comes below this half trend green line again, targeting this blue line. So I'm just going to do a market order there. I'm going to target this support and resistance line. I'm going to put my stop right above the highs there. We had that pretty big divergence there. We had the CCI still coming down. So now we're officially in a downtrend. If this area wasn't such a big area, I might move my take profit down a little bit lower, seeing that we got a half trend pro bearish trend starting to print. But this is a pretty big area, so as you can see, it bounced 10 points right away. Yeah, for scalpers, these lines can be really great entries for quick little bounces. So we just got that bullish CCI reversal signal. I'm always cautious with these reversal signals. I want to see something else line up. Like, I would want price to come down to this area of support and resistance before I considered it. I need more than just this reversal arrow printing, and right now we're still in a downtrend. Obviously, if the half trend pro turns back bullish, that would give validation to this reversal signal. I'm also watching this. We still have this major support and resistance radar line, so I wouldn't want to be taking any longs right into that unless I was just going for a really small scalp. I don't want to wait till price broke above this major support and resistance line. Yeah, then we could be targeting. I know we've got a lot of chop and range right here in the candles. Is another reason I like the range candles, is it's easier to see areas of support and resistance and chop. Yeah, more conservative target would be in that chop area around 340, or I could go for the gold at this next line up around 360. So it's always a good idea to be planning your moves out in advance, kind of see where the market might go, what your play would be if it does this or that. So if we get a candle that closes up above this blue line, I'll just use the end of bar ordering tool to put a limit order in if it closes above this blue line and prints a up candle. We will get in, and I'll be doing a more conservative target right in this range here. pretty much right where it's at. And I'm going to be moving my stop right below these lows. If I wanted to be extra careful, I could move it below this half trend stop line here. But we had this CCI reversal signal. The half trend pro is turned green again. We're breaking above this major support resistance radar line. I'm targeting this kind of choppy area on the range chart. A longer term target could be up here at this next support and resistance radar line up at 360. Got her take profit there. It's looking like a pretty strong move. I wouldn't be surprised if it got back up to this support and resistance radar line. There it goes. It's kind of breaking market structure here. It's going above these last highs. So that would signify that we're potentially in a strong, going into a strong bullish trend now. So if you were liking the trades to the long side, right here at the support and resistance line would be a good area to take a pullback trade, or this kind of choppy range area if it came back here. Maybe take a trade off this half trend pro line, or you could wait till the market broke these highs and confirmed that it was going to go higher, and maybe take it up to this next support and resistance line. Out of all those options, I like that one the best for my trading style. So it'll be a shorter target, only 10 points or so than my usual 20 points or so. But if this trend continues, I don't think it'll have an issue getting up to that high. Move my take profit right below this blue line. And I'm going to move my stop right below that low there. We did just get a CCI reversal signal. The trend is still green and it's very strong. So I'm not too worried about it, but I'm definitely also keeping that in the back of my mind that I might not want to go for too big of a target to the upside. But yeah, my previous analysis was that it was going to have no issue getting up to this level. So when I see one of these reversal signals, I definitely want to have another reason besides just the signal to go short. It could be that I would wait till it touched this area of support and resistance line and taken it short. You could have taken a little scalp there for almost 10 points right there. Definitely some more opportunities to short it. Just little counter trend scalps. I'm just looking at this major move to the upside. The trend is still green, and we had that positive reaction to the news earlier. I would think it would want to possibly continue up. So even with the best trading system in the world, you still need to be using your brain and kind of thinking of the bigger picture and planning all your moves out in advance, not just entering into trades willy-nilly. One of the reasons I wanted to do this video is to show that you can really just put any three indicators together and make a profitable system if you have the right risk management and if you're following the rules that you set up for your system, and if you're adjusting the parameters of the indicators to best suit your trade instrument and your time frame. There's a way to make just about any system or any indicator profitable with the right discipline and mindset. So as you can see, this CCI reversal signal, it definitely kept us thinking that this bullish move might be slowing down a little bit, and it's definitely retraced 20 points. After this big move, and you can see price breaking market structure, it's breaking above these previous highs here. I would be more interested in taking longs at this point. So if you're looking for a pullback entry, here is your half trend pro stop line right at 64. It's been bouncing off that. That would be a possible pullback entry, because you know if it does break that, it would turn into a downtrend. So this is kind of the last line of defense. Possible pullback entry would be right there, or at this support and resistance radar line. Or if you're more of a breakout trader, you could take a break above these highs and target this next line of support and resistance, or this line as well. So I'm just going to let the market chop around and figure out what it's going to do. See, we did break above those highs, and it went right to the next support resistance radar line and bounced off of it a little bit. Actually made it all the way up to this support and resistance radar line. See, price is way higher here. CCI is lower. So this is some major divergence. I would be very cautious about taking a long right now. I would be more interested in a short if it came back below this support and resistance line. Could target this support and resistance line, or even this one. So now we have our half trend pro stop line right here at 28. That will send us into a downtrend on the half trend pro. If it did clear this support and resistance radar line at 20, I would take that short down to this next line. That happened pretty quick. I got out at this first support and resistance line. I would have moved my stop to right above these highs here and this half trend line. Looks like it. We're in a downtrend now. We're breaking this support and resistance line. Could easily continue down to this next area on the support and resistance radar. It's getting close to 11 o'clock. I like to be done by 11. I don't like to trade the lunchtime. So that would be the last trade that I'd be looking for. I can kind of speed this up and see how it plays out. So it did close below this line and headed down to the next line, about 10 points there. And it broke below this blue line, but if you're looking at the range chart here, we have a lot of chop right there. I'd be very cautious looking at that, and we got a bounce from that area. That's just some of the ways you can combine indicators to make your own trading system. NINZA has so many different options. You could totally come up with something that fits your trade style and your trade personality. Lots of different options.